Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to build a blueprint for something we all struggle with, effective communication. It's a simple guide, really, to make absolutely sure that what you say is what people actually hear. Okay, let's just dive right in with a problem that I'm pretty sure every single one of us has faced. You know that sinking feeling, right? You send a message, and the reply makes it crystal clear they heard something completely different. It's just the absolute worst, that frustration of miscommunication. It's amazing how a simple text can just completely twist in meaning. Fine whatever suddenly sounds like you're declaring war, or are you busy feels like you're walking into a trap. But here's the thing, what if there was a way to actually engineer your messages to avoid all of this entirely? Well, you absolutely can, because here's the secret. Effective communication, it's not about luck. It's not a roll of the dice. It's when the message you send is the exact message the other person receives. No static, no interference, and that doesn't happen by accident. It's achieved by design. And the best way to think about that design is like building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing bricks and mortar together and hope for the best, right? No, you'd need a blueprint. And that is exactly what we're putting together today, starting with the absolute foundation of it all, the message itself. All right, so this is our first pillar, and you gotta get this right. Because if your message is weak, the entire structure is gonna crumble. It doesn't matter how well you say it or where you send it. So an effective message, it's really built on 4 key principles. It's gotta be simple and clear. It needs to be short and direct. You wanna avoid all that confusing jargon. But, and this is the most important part, above all else, it has to be designed entirely around the person on the other end. Just look at this comparison. On one side, you have this sentence that's just cluttered with jargon. It makes your brain work way too hard. And on the other, it's direct, it's powerful, it's simple. They both say the same thing, technically, but only the clear version actually communicates. In this game, clarity always wins. And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of being audience-centered. Sure, hypertension is perfect if you're a doctor talking to another doctor. It's efficient shorthand. But for a public health campaign, you gotta say blood pressure. That's the term that connects with everyone. And listen, this isn't about dumbing things down. Not at all. It's about being smart enough to choose the right language for the right person. All right, so you've crafted this perfect, clear, audience-centered message. Awesome. But now, how do you actually deliver it? And that brings us to the second pillar of our blueprint. You gotta pick the right channel. Now, this is so important. The best channel is not what's easiest for you. It's all about what works for them. Can they actually get to it? Is it affordable for them? Does it even fit into their world? Seriously, those are the only questions that really matter here. Think about it like this. A fancy, high-tech mobile app is completely useless if your audience lives in a rural area with spotty internet. In that situation, you know what works? Good old-fashioned radio, or a simple SMS text message. Those old-school tools are actually way more effective at getting the message where it needs to go. So the big takeaway here is that your medium has to match the gravity of your message. Announcing company layoffs in a group text, that's not just cold, it's terrible communication. Why? Because the channel is totally inappropriate for how sensitive that information is. Serious news demands a serious, personal channel, period. Okay, but here's a catch. You can have a great message, send it through the perfect channel, and it can still totally fail. How is that possible? Well, it's because the audience has to be ready to receive it. So this next part of our blueprint is all about creating the right conditions for your message to actually land. You know the saying, timing is everything? Well, in communication, it's literally true. A road safety ad hits differently when you're stuck in rush hour traffic, right? Announcing exam details makes sense at the start of class, not when everyone's fried at the end of the day. The whole point is to get your message to them at the exact moment they're most receptive to it. And to really, truly connect, you've got to step inside your audience's world. This quote is perfect. Using a cricket reference, it'll build instant rapport in Pakistan, but try that in the US and you'll just get blank stares. It's about using the symbols, the references, the language that already holds meaning for them. This is a big one. Your message can't go to war with someone's core values. It will lose every time. Instead, you have to find a way to connect to those values. So a women's education campaign that's all about individual freedom, it might fall flat in a more community-focused culture. But frame that same campaign around family honor or national progress, and all of a sudden, you've got everyone's attention. Okay, so we have our blueprint taking shape. But a blueprint is pretty useless if you don't have the right tools to actually build the thing. So now, let's stock our toolkit with the essential skills every single effective communicator needs. And you know what? The most powerful tool in your entire communication toolkit might just be the one that doesn't involve you speaking at all. It's active listening. And I mean active. This is so much more than just waiting for your turn to talk. It's giving your full, undivided attention. It's watching for all those nonverbal cues. And then, this is key, confirming what you heard to make sure you got it right. Remember, communication is a two-way street. We've all seen this in action, haven't we? Someone says the words, "I'm fine," but their body is screaming the exact opposite. Slumped shoulders, no eye contact, you know the deal. Your body language has to support your words, because when your words say one thing and your body language says another, guess which one people believe? Yep, every single time they'll believe your body, and they'll probably stop trusting your words. All right, let's round out our toolkit with the skills that really tie everything together. First up, empathy. That's what allows you to see the world from their side of the table, and it's how you build trust. Then there's audience awareness. That's your spidey sense for adapting your message in real time based on how it's landing. And finally, context. You always have to be aware of the situation and the culture. These are the skills that take a message from just being good to being genuinely trusted. So we've gone through all the parts. What does this finished blueprint actually look like when we put it all together? Let's recap. And here it is. It all starts with that strong, clear message. Then you deliver it through the right channel. You time it and frame it perfectly for a receptive audience. And you build the whole thing using your toolkit, skills like active listening and empathy. That right there is the formula. It's how you stop having accidental miscommunications and start creating intentional, effective connections. And really, that brings us to the only question that matters now. How are you going to use this blueprint? I want you to think about just one conversation you've got coming up this week. Just one. Which one of these principles can you put into practice to make sure your message isn't just sent, but is truly deeply heard?